Hey guys, what is up? Yes, there is a bonus YouTube video this month. Some very exciting things have been happening. Got my second vaccine, which I'm super pumped about, and I was approached by Reuters the other day. Now, Reuters is the world's largest news outlet, so suffice to say I was pretty damn excited when they emailed me and said, would you like to do an interview? Of course, I said yes. And they wanted to talk to me about content creation, I guess the changing world of being a digital entrepreneur, and of course, you know, the rise of OnlyFans and how my content fits into that. So I was really thrilled. It's probably the biggest platform I've had in terms of doing an interview. So very excited to see how it gets out there and hopefully inspires some other content creators to start, you know, cutting the middleman out, going direct to the audience, making content for the consumer direct. It's certainly changed my life. I hope maybe if you're watching this, it's changed your life too. So the link to the interview is below. Definitely start with that. But if you're here because you've already read it, we're going to take a deeper dive. And these are some of my long form answers, just riffing on some of the interesting topics that were brought up by the interview. And I will tell you, for legal reasons, I can't post the audio from the reporters that interviewed me. So unfortunately, it's kind of a long, pompous monologue. I apologize for that. I also apologize for the fact that I'm wearing a silk robe. It was very early in the morning. The best part of doing phone interviews is I don't need to put on slacks and a shirt. I can literally do this in my robe. If that offends you, I am not sorry. And if you're offended by that robe, wait till you see these Shawn Michaels replica pants from 1996. Oh my God, I love them. My fashion has definitely changed during quarantine, and I don't know if I can go back. I really don't know if I can go back. All right, let's get down to it. Here are some excerpts from the interview with Reuters.
Are you ready to talk to Reuters? Hi, sweetie pie.
Come and sit with me and we'll do this interview together. Meet the baby chief doo 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 doo, the baby chief doo 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 doo. Now you all know the song that I sing to my cat. Hi, Elizabeth. I'm doing great. Thank you for reaching out to me and making this all happen so quickly. The truth is, I mean, I've been a filmmaker since I was a teenager. I've made multiple documentaries and directed a feature film called Use Me. I've been doing that for 20 years, and it just always felt like someone else was making money instead of me. You know, even if the films did well, there were so many other people getting paid first. And honestly, I moved to America to make a movie. I did it. I achieved my dream, global release for a feature film. And yet I was $18,000 in credit card debt. And that was when the pandemic hit. And, you know, I've been living in America for 5 years, but I was so broke, I thought, I'm going to have to go back to Australia. My American dream is over. You know, what's going to happen? And that was when a friend of mine suggested OnlyFans and doing a fitness page. I started it. I really had nothing to lose. And to my great surprise, it took off almost instantly. And I can, yeah, and I can tell you now, I mean, it hasn't even been a year yet. It'll be like one full year on the platform in June, but I've actually grossed over 100,000 US dollars. Completely out of credit card debt, able to invest now, and, you know, most importantly, put money back into my own content. So there's a feeling of control I've never had before as a content creator. I mean, I make, you know, $0 through Twitter. I make $0 through YouTube. But hey, Reuters found me through Twitter. You know, like, you know, great contacts and professionals have found me through YouTube, even though my views are comparatively tiny. So it's not that I'm leaving the other platforms. I still do Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you know, because on one hand, they're a funnel to OnlyFans, but also you just have to keep producing for a wider audience. The one thing with OnlyFans is it's closed. You know, you're behind a paywall. But here's, I mean, I'm just going to give you the straight truth about OnlyFans. I didn't want to do it initially because I thought, well, you know, I associated it with adult content. And honestly, I have nothing but respect for sex workers. I think it's a totally legitimate career, but, you know, I honestly had a bit of a stigma in my mind. Then I did a bit of research, and I realized that there were actually a lot of safe for work pages, as they say, on OnlyFans. There was a pretty diverse variety of content. And that made me realize, okay, let's just look at this as a way to deliver content. Let's forget what anyone else has done. Let's think what I could do. Could I, do fitness and workouts and things of that nature and one-on-one coaching? Could I just use this as a delivery mechanism? Mm-hmm. And the reason I chose it is because it was white hot. And frankly, it had the most eyeballs on it. And I think part of that is that it is controversial because, at the end of the day, you have to be uncomfortably early on a trend in order to make money. I got in June 2020, and that was when the entire platform skyrocketed. I'll send you a graph if you like, but it compares OnlyFans income to like Patreon, and other subscription sites. OnlyFans just blew them out of the water. So I did get lucky picking the hottest platform. But it's like the biggest risk, the biggest return. I took a risk because I knew some people would have a stigma in their minds about me having an OnlyFans page. But the risk paid off. I was just ahead of the curve, and I've kind of been riding the wave ever since. I was only tangentially aware of it, I guess just through seeing maybe memes and things like that, and perhaps starting to see people who were making all this money on the platform. I suppose, to be honest, I was just a little closed-minded because I thought it was only a content platform for adult content. And that was on me. I was ignorant, and my friend said, look, just do some research. She kind of said, well, I'll tell you, it was actually, her name's Sierra Lynch, and she's the star of my film, Use Me. And she is an online dominatrix. So she does an account that, I suppose technically it's sex work, but it's a non-nude fetish account. But she said, look, you're an imaginative guy. You're a creative guy. Why don't you just look at the platform and think about what you could do with it? And I just saw possibilities. I saw a new way to tell stories. And, since then I've even released a short film through there. I've done some very creative photo sets, narrative photo sets. I keep finding new ways to use the platform. And I think that the only limit is your imagination. I really do. Look, I gotta tell you the truth. And I'm not trying to be funny here. If you want to look for where technology innovation is happening, ask the sex worker community. Don't ask Hollywood. Sex workers are always ahead. Honestly, they made more of DVDs, right, before Hollywood did. They definitely made more of live streaming and stuff like that. And, they were on OnlyFans years ago. And now look what's happening. Michael B. Jordan has one. You're seeing these bigger mainstream names jumping on the platform. So honestly, I got to tell you, if a sex worker ever gives you a tip on a new technology, you should probably listen to him. It fluctuates greatly. I want to be clear about that. I think at one point I had over 1,000. Sometimes it's 150. Sometimes it's 300. There's a natural churn, and you just have to accept that. It's variable. I sometimes there's a 50% difference month to month in terms of my income.
Right.
Right now it's probably around that 200 mark, and still making really, really good money. $6,000 is a pretty good baseline. And I think for me, the most pleasing aspect is I have a lot of subscribers who have been with me for almost a year. And there's real rapport, there's a relationship there. Hey, one of them even invested in my next film. So, it's pretty interesting how it's developed. And one thing I will say to new content creators is keep your mind open. Because I think while people can be judgmental about the content creators, you're also judgmental about the content consumers. And I hear people sort of thinking, oh God, all these people following me must be perverts. Well, no, they're real people on the other end. You have no idea who might be in your direct messages. And maybe there'll be a professional relationship that forms. That's happened for me. So I keep a very open mind about who's subscribing. And I've met some incredibly cool people. It's been a networking opportunity too. And that's been very surprising for me. Hey, I'm going to let you get back to the interview in 1 second, but if you're enjoying it, please like, please subscribe. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, spreading this channel wider out to the world, helping more people discover this content. Doesn't cost you a thing, would be much appreciated. All right, let's get back to it. Let me see, what did I do? I think the first thing I did was just put some candid photos up from my life, like some throwbacks that I didn't post on other platforms, and I don't mean that they were nude or even sexual in any way, but they were just a bit more intimate and just more the real me. And I found people were tipping that, you know, they were leaving a tip, and I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like, you're paying me $20 just to post this photo that was on my phone. What is that? Like, I had to understand, why is someone giving me money? And I realized what it was actually an intimacy and a sense of connection. And I was like, that's what they're really paying for. Even more than the content. It's that they're in this locked, exclusive community, and they're closer to you. So I kind of found that it was a platform where I could do vlogs where I really, you know, revealed more of the real me. But frankly, look, here's the deal. Even though, you know, you won't find nudity on my main page, of course my page is a bit sexy. Every OnlyFans page is a bit sexy. So I took, right? So I took something that I was doing, which was like fitness and wellness content, and, you know, maybe I do a workout with my shirt off. Or honestly, I did a kettlebell workout in my Calvin Kleins, and it went crazy. You know, it just got like thousands of dollars in tips. And I kind of realized my formula was, okay, so you take something that's valuable to people, you know, like fitness, wellness content that's educational, add a bit of sex appeal on top of that, and you got a recipe here. You know, you got something. So that kind of really worked for me. And, you know, one thing I learned from my buddy Sierra, who's a dominatrix, is that there's a lot of money in the tease. So I think if people think, oh, I got to take all my clothes off to be on OnlyFans, I don't think that's true. I think people like beauty, they like seduction, they like a tease, and, you know, you can monetize content that is in that category versus something more explicit. Now, I will say I did get lucky where I sort of caught the eye of OnlyFans, you know, because honestly, I think they have a great product, but it's hard to promote, perhaps because of the stigma that it had from its early days. And, you know, they saw I was doing, you know, like more safe for work content and, you know, fitness content and stuff like that. So they kind of loved the content I was doing, and they promoted me a bit, and that helped me get a bunch of new subscribers.
Got it.
But I will say as well, you know, you can do this thing where you run a promotion in OnlyFans where it sort of promotes you. I don't know what happened one month. I hit the jackpot with the algorithm, but they were just cascading in, and you know, it was sort of like $15,000 in 1 month, which was my all-time high. And that one was just luck. I don't know what happened. For some reason, the promotions were really working, and the algorithm was suggesting me to more people. I didn't really do anything different with my content, but it was just a bonanza. And hey, man, I got out of credit card debt that month, so I was pretty happy. Yeah. Yeah, I was working in a gym full time. I was a personal trainer. And that's something I did in between jobs. I mean, my career, you know, has been director and actor. And hey, look, I've made some great money doing those, but it comes in chunks. It's not reliable, you know? You know, you get 5-figure payday, you're like, wow, I'm rich. And then maybe you get absolutely nothing for 6 months, you know, like that's the nature of it. So I've always had little jobs in between the acting gigs. But yeah, you know, like when the pandemic hit, I couldn't even work in the gym because the gym shut down.
Right.
And so like, I can't stress this enough. I mean, I was $18,000 in debt. My back was against the wall. I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. I was stressed. You know, I got a girlfriend and a cat, and I'm like, how the hell am I going to provide? And that was just when OnlyFans came along. It was almost like divine intervention, I guess. I ended up in credit card debt while I was making my movie.
Yeah.
You know, now I didn't invest in the budget of the film, but just making an independent film took 5 years. And, you know, so that's the thing. So honestly, just living, just the extra expenses, because I wasn't working full time, I dedicated all my time, you know, to the film. I didn't have a job. it's very easy to get into credit card debt.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you know, I kind of thought, oh my God, I'm going to make this movie and that's what's going to get me out of credit card debt. That's when I'm finally going to be wealthy. And look, the movie has opened amazing doors, you know, as an actor and director, but the money is just not there. It's like my OnlyFans is 100 times more profitable for me. So it's just changed the way I look at Hollywood and acting and directing. And, you know, I'm trying to find ways that I can make a living as a content creator direct to the audience. And then, hey, if I get a national commercial or if, you know, if I book a role on a TV show, great. But I'm kind of almost seeing that as a bonus at this point. It's not something I can rely on, you know? Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure there are ones I haven't even heard of. I will just tell you as a consumer, I love Substack, you know, for getting essays and that kind of thing. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with that one because that's your line of work. I think that's fantastic. And hey, I put my money where my mouth is. I just paid a friend, you know, a $60 subscription to get one essay from him a month. He's a great writer. And you know, to me, that's money very well spent. His name is Jason Childs. I'll send you a link if you like. If this makes Reuters, I'd be so thrilled for him. I went to high school with him. He writes basically, I would just say, existential philosophy essays, and he just has a great mind. And you know, like, you really hit on something here. It's like making this money, I'm finally able to be selfless, if that makes sense. When you're poor and hanging on for dear life, you are selfish. You know, you need to hang on to every cent. Finally, I can give money to friends who I think are making great content. And that's the best feeling of all. You know, it's a virtuous cycle. And more importantly, you know, I can also reinvest in my own content and make cooler content. And that's how the page keeps growing too, you know? Because I think what happens with OnlyFans, you get all this money, and if you just kind of spend it on champagne and you know, buy a new car and stuff, well, you know, it's kind of like, okay, like, what's the community getting back? The community has given you all this money. I try to give back to the community, and I really do think that is critical for longevity. I don't know, OnlyFans is kind of proven at this point. It's not like the new kid on the block anymore. It's made a lot of people very wealthy, and it's made a lot of content consumers very happy. Like, there's a reason that you make money. It's because your fans are happy and they're getting, you know, great content. If the content sucked, believe me, we wouldn't be making this money. So I'm not really looking to move. Again, initially I was worried about maybe the stigma, but I feel that just is constantly decreasing now. So, yeah, I'm not sure. And look, here's the other thing I'd say. I'm not a gamer, so I'm not going to go on Twitch, you know? I really am a guy that makes films, makes photos. OnlyFans is great for that kind of content. It's perfect for me. It might not be perfect for someone else, but it's my sweet spot. So you've just got to think whatever your strength is, and I'm kind of planning to stick with it for now. I know a huge deal, and one of my features is that I will talk to my fans every day. You know, it's been a year now, and I've checked my direct messages every day. And you know, you don't have to pay to talk to me. Like, you pay a subscription, but it's free to chat. Some people, you actually have to pay them to chat with them. I happen to like people, so I do it for free. But I think, honestly, if you're a misanthrope, you should charge people because it can be exhausting. Look, I'm not bragging. I just want to get this out there. Like, one of the world's biggest fashion designers is a subscriber. And that's pretty crazy, you know, and he was very shy about who he was, and eventually it came out. It's like, oh my God, dude, like, wow, I'm so glad I got to know you, you know? Like, people have said to me, well, aren't you worried this is going to, like, compromise your mainstream career as an actor or a director? And I get that, you know, because people might have some stigma in their mind. And my answer is, OnlyFans is probably going to be the reason that I ever really make it big as an actor and a director. Because if I didn't find some other source of income, I probably would have had to drop out of those industries because the paydays are so irregular, and I would just have to get a full-time job in a field I'm not as interested in. And then you do not have time to do good auditions. You do not have time to write screenplays and take the years that they take to get good. So, yeah, my thing is, okay, maybe there'll be a casting director here or there who's a bit conservative and they're like, oh, we don't like that he has an OnlyFans. But for every opportunity that I lose, I really feel like I'm gaining more because I'm actually able to stay in the game that I love. Let me put it this way. Like, when I was working full-time in the gym, I mean, actually more like 50, 60 hours a week in the gym, and I was working minimum wage. You know, I was getting auditions, but I was exhausted. I mean, my work wasn't that good. My writing wasn't as good. So what OnlyFans has given me, it's not so much money, it's given me time. It's given me the time to do good auditions. It's given me the time to really write and spend hours on that, developing new projects. That's the real blessing. It's that freedom with my time. And yes, that's connected to money. But, you know, time is the most valuable asset that we have. Yeah. Look, I post daily. You know, I pretty much post every day and chat to people. So sometimes there might be a photo. Sometimes it might be a workout video that's a bit more in depth. You know, I just posted like a 5-minute workout today with kettlebells. And, you know, that all takes editing and stuff like that and putting in music. You know how it works. So, you know, I would say for me, OnlyFans is a part-time job. At least, you know, I mean, 20, 25 hours a week, I would say. But if you look at the financial returns compared to other part-time jobs I've had, it's pretty appealing, you know. Yeah. But I will say, you know, like I'm always working. I'm working laying in bed at night from midnight to 2 a.m. thinking about what I'm going to post. And actually, the more strategic I've been, the more successful I've been. It's actually, the real money is in that time that you sit there in your robe, having a coffee, just daydreaming. That's when all the good ideas come, and they're the ones that make the money. So, yeah, that's kind of part of the work. Daydreaming, imagining. That's where the big bucks get made, honestly. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. What nice ladies. I hope you enjoyed watching that. I know that the camera stopped recording at some point, but hopefully you didn't miss too much. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on that. I thought they're pretty interesting questions. And what did you learn about me? You probably learned something new, I'm guessing. So let me know what that was. All right, guys, if you made it this far, I am very appreciative. Let me know what was, I guess, the topic that maybe you changed your mind on. Was there something that you come out of this and you go, geez, I got a different perspective on content creation or YouTube or making money online? Let me know. Leave a comment below. I will be back with a new video next Friday. Yes, don't have to wait too long. And I can't wait to see you then. Take it easy. Bye for now.